Welcome to Rivals Recap, a regular and bago pong segment ng ating website. And in this show, mga kaibigan, pag-uusapan po natin, of course, yung mga nangyaring events of the past days and the past week. And at the same time, atin din pong imayin ang mga maaaring mangyari in the near future in every sport na kinocover po ng Rivals.ph. And I will be your host for today, Dennis Principe. And joining us for today ay apat po na distinguished personalities. Dalawa po sa kanila ay regular writers na kahit paano na-invite po natin to join. Ito po nga masabi natin because of them, naging distinguished panel po ito. Now, to introduce muna ang ating po nga mga regular writers ng Rivals.ph, and they will be talking about yung mga beats na kinocover po nila. Perhaps this is po sa mga most prominent writers pagdating po sa sports, in particular volleyball. Mac Junicio will be talking about the issues about the Philippine volleyball, at for sure malalim po yung ating mga itatagal po dyan. Now, from volleyball, PBA naman po ang ating pag-uusapan, isa po sa mga batang writers and a regular fixture ng PBA. We're talking about Randolph Yongson, ang ating pong PBA beat. Yan pong tatandaan ninyong pagmuha. Okay, and we're happy to have dalawa po sa mga distinguished writers naman po on print. No? One of them, ito nga po ang ating kaibigan from the Manila Bulletin, Christian Jacinto. Teammate ko ito sa PGPL. Kaya medyo nagkaka-injure ng madalas. Okay, at ito naman syempre, we're hoping that he'll be the star of the show, a reluctant superstar, ang Assistant Sports Editor ng Philippine Daily Inquirer. Siya po ang magiging mukha naman ng ating COIS and effect of Francis Ochoa. Okay, so to start off ang ating pong programa, unahin muna natin ang sport na PBA. Okay, so Randolph, ano bang, what's in store? Siguro, or probably before that, ano ba yung mga magandang pinag-usapan and pag-uusapan pa sa sport ng PBA, sa liga ng PBA?
Well, sir, ang feeling ko pong magandang pag-usapan natin is yung San Miguel.
Okay.
First sweep in franchise history, 34th finals appearance. Mukhang promising na sila after years of losing.
Na puro promise.
Na puro promise, na puro stars. Under Coach Leo Austria, they got the top seed this year. Sa Philippine Cup, they swept talk and text, and now sitting pretty na sila dun sa finals, sir.
Mm-hmm. And yung sinasabi na itong team na ito, are they for real? No? Because they've had retooling, both in coaching and sa mga players. They reacquired Alex Cabagnot in the middle of a tournament. So how will that affect yung kanilang objective?
Well, sir, on a personal note, I'm still reluctant. But sa nakikita natin ngayon, it looks like hindi umalis si Alex sa team eh. Alex Cabagnot helped them a lot dun sa spacing, nagkaroon sila ng threat sa outside, and yung leadership niya, invaluable yun. And sir, ang nakikita ko kasi na kailangan dito is yung consistency between the players. I'll put into the spotlight si Arwin Santos kasi so far laging ganito siya eh, magandang start, pero iba pa rin yung sa finals.
Okay.
Another one is Marshall Lassiter, who has had an up and down conference. Na-injure siya. So far, din sa semifinals, maganda yung pinakita. But San Miguel will badly need yung shooting niya from the outside. Also, yung bench, maganda yung ginagawa nila. Ronald Tubid, Rico Meyerhofer, they have been stepping up. But the most important dito, sirs, is yung chemistry ng team. Na they acquired character guys in Kramer, Tubid, Meyerhofer, and even rookie Ronald Pascual na walang takot. Unlike before na they just made their team na stars, na talented, but ngayon nagkakaroon na ng character yung San Miguel mismo.
And of course, your take dun sa sinabi ni Randolph, and probably meron kang gustong itanong sa kanya.
Yeah, maybe questions lang naman. We've always known that San Miguel, ever since from the start, hindi naman sila nagka-problema talent-wise. Pero what would be the difference that fans can look forward to? Ano sinasabi ng mga players, yung mga X-Factor? What do you think will really determine kung talagang totoo ang team na to or puro promise na naman?
Arwin Santos said sa Game 4 after the sweep is he's been adamant na sinasabing mas makulit yung team. Before they got to the pre-game shoot around, lahat sila naka-headband, ang dami nilang kalokohang ginagawa, which is different before. And I've observed dun sa practice before, there are a place for Phil-Ams and there are a place for locals. Ngayon, iba eh. Sama-sama sila. They're mas buo sila. And Coach Leostrias had done a tremendous job in telling the players kung ano yung roles na kailangan nilang gawin. And mukhang maganda naman po yung tinatakbo. Kaya sila sa finals ngayon.
Alright. And from the PBA, nako naman tayo sa volleyball. Again, one. Perhaps kung bakit popular ang rivals at PHs because of this single man na nagko-cover po ng volleyball si Mac. Your take about the sport and siguro what's in store for Philippine volleyball come 2015?
Okay, sir, I will be giving an update regarding the country hosting the U23 Asian Women's Tournament next year, May 1 to 9. According to the AVC, Asian Volleyball Confederation website, we are still the hosts of next year's tournament. Pero according to PVF's Secretary General Oti Kamangian, we are actually in danger of losing the hosting rights. This is all because of the power struggle that is happening right now between POC and the Philippine Volleyball Federation. We may seem like not a strong country compared to our Asian neighbors, pero according to Secgen Oti, FIVB is closely monitoring what's happening. And according to the latest communication provided by Asian Volleyball Confederation, the PVF is given until January only to fix whatever it is that is hindering the Philippine volleyball from moving forward. Because if they do not fix it, I don't know what they do mean by fixing it, pero if it does not get fixed by January, their hands are tied and the hosting will be given to another country.
Okay.
Well, for context, for our audience, we all know that volleyball is on the rise. Yeah. How important, what kind of an impact will hosting the women's tournament make for local volleyball, and what loss, how can you quantify what loss will we suffer if the hosting is taken away from us?
Okay. Sir, kasi first thing pa lang, if we lose the hosting rights for the tournament, nakakahiya. The FIVB and the AVC are aware of what's happening, and they even gave us an ultimatum. So, if we lose the hosting rights, it's like going back to where we were in the past few years, wherein we were in bad standing with FIVB, kaya hindi tayo nakakapag-host. And if we do get the hosting rights, it's a big thing for Philippine volleyball eh. Kasi other than marirecognize na talaga tayo na we are getting there, we are going back to the glory days, is our team will get to compete with the home crowd. And that is a much needed boost talaga kasi alam naman natin na napag-iwanan na talaga tayo ng Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia. So, malaking epekto siya sa Philippine volleyball.
Okay. And that's a combination of the past and the future, no? Because yun nga, napag-usapan nga natin na sometime this year, no, na nakuha nga natin yung hosting, pero yun nga, yung future looks bleak, ano, because of yung bickerings happening within the sport of volleyball. At yun nga, baka madamay pa yung hosting ng under 23 sometime in 2015. Okay, thank you very much, Mac. And from volleyball, dako naman po tayo sa D-League. Marami yung nag-aabang. At maraming happy sa nagaganap po ngayon sa D-League. At is a reason for the Happy Toothpaste team to be really happy and talagang maging maganda yung kanilang campaign for their initial venture sa D-League.
Their return. Yung pagbabalik nila sa basketball scene yung Happy. Titignan natin yung makeup ng team nila. It's been a really solid team. You have the core of the San Beda Red Lions with Ola Diogon at the helm, Basir Amir, Art De La Cruz. Then you have two-time UAAP MVP in Bobby Ray Parks, NCAA MVP Earl Thompson, the likes of Troy Rosario, which was instrumental in NU's run, Arnold Van Opstal, veterans Garbo Lanete and Marvin Hayes. So tingnan natin, napakaganda talaga ng makeup ng team and they're currently proving it as 8-0 sila ngayon sa PBA D-League so far.
How does this affect? Is this a good thing that we have a dominant D-League team, or does this affect yung development naman ng ibang team? It's supposed to be a farm system kasi, di ba? So, we're supposed to develop players, but how does this affect D-League status when you have one dominant team? It's been complaining kasi na parang ganun yung happy, it's running over the opposition, and it's not going to be good for the league. Ano yung take mo?
It's a double-edged blade, sir. Given siguro on the development side, you have teams like Cagayan or Cafe France who are really pushing their players hard just for them to be able to match up with the powerhouse team like Happy. So we've seen it in the past with NLEX, and then yung mga teams like Blackwater, Big Chill, and players like sila Real Cervantes who really strived hard to match with the powerhouse squad. So nakita natin on the development side, wala naman sigurong problema. Yung popularity side of the tournament, doon siguro ngayon magkaka-issue given na Happy na naman yan or NLEX naman yan noon. Yun yung pinaka-knack sa D-League noon na parang walang competition na bakit hindi na lang ibigay. Ika nga ni Coach Lawrence noon na he received heat from it, pero in a way, if you would look at it, he does have a point, di ba?
I-clear ba, Christian, inabanggit mo mga lineup players. Happy toothpaste ito, hindi ito SEA Games national team, ha?
Hindi.
Okay.
Hindi, kasi
malinaw.
Pero if you would look at it, pwede mag-compete
Okay, alright. Okay, so, thank you very much, Christian, and kay aking dating bossing, Mr. Din Marcelo, at saka kay La Chica, pinahiram sa atin si Christian ang makasama natin dito sa initial presentation po of Rivals Recap. We're in from time to time ating po pag-uusapan ng mga biggest events happening before, after, at marami pang mga personalities na inyo po makikita. And mostly ang ating po mga regular riders and mga guests ating po invite dito po sa ating program. But before we end, of course, ang ating pong Kois and Effect, we're in our good friend Francis Ochoa. We'll talk about kung ano yung kanyang ika nga nasipat and ano yung kanyang opinions about what he heard dito po sa ating roundtable discussion.
Okay, I think this week's most pressing issue is yung polarizing effect ng politics sa sports, and we're seeing it again in volleyball. It's happened before. Every time a sport's on the rise, laging ganyan na lang, there would be leadership squabbles, people wanting to take over an association or a national federation, and it's time we really have to learn from it. Like Mac Junicio said kanina, losing the hosting rights for for the women's tournament for Asian volleyball will really be a big blow to the sport, because it's been gaining a lot of foothold already in mainstream. There are several supporters with it already, and to lose such a big tournament would really be a big blow. We have to learn our lessons from the past. This happened in basketball already before, and it's surprising that our Olympic Federation doesn't have any safeguards to protect national sports associations when these problems arise, no? And what happened when such a problem came up in basketball? We were banned, we couldn't compete internationally, and volleyball cannot afford that. Basketball can maybe take blows such as that because it's already established, but volleyball needs a lot of positive things to happen for it so that its popularity will continue. Right now, we need our stakeholders to be really vigilant about what's going on in the sport, and we need to identify who these stakeholders are. They need to be legitimate so that people can rally behind them. We have the UAAP, the NCAA, and the tournaments. Now, the good thing about the current issue is that athletes are stepping up. We have athletes going to forums and making their presence felt. And this is important because for me, sports is really about athletes. If we have athletes who are vigilant, if we have athletes who are vocal, the leaders will listen. And more importantly, the people know who to side with. They won't easily get blindsided by newspaper reports because media will always take sides with will always take different sides in an issue. But athletes, if we listen to them, we know what direction the sport should take. So they are vocal right now, and we should really put our focus on our athletes. And that's my take for the pressing issue for this week. My name is Francis Ochoa. Thank you for listening to Kois NFM.
Thank you very much, Kois, and thank you very much to the rest of our guests for today's Randolph, Mac, and of course Christian. And we do hope you enjoyed the initial presentation of Rivals Recap only here on Rivals.ph. My name is Dennis Principe. Have a good one.